out there, whoever's on, says there's 4. So make sure that it sounds okay. Doing a mic check. Keep talking to that mic. Grab that mic.
Test one,
No,
two.
get in there.
Oh,
Like
get in there.
get in there. Yeah. You know how to do it. So just give us a heads up as to. Someone said 10 or 80 daily said save some records for PBD. I guess he's talking about the GT500 record. But anyway, give us a heads up if we sound okay. Give us a thumbs up. He retracted the message. He's like, oh fuck, yo, I don't want people knowing too late. You're fucked now. He said, sounds good, brother. Okay, let's start talking shit. Okay, so obviously the subject that everyone's gonna want to talk about. Anyway, reporting live from Lund Racing HQ. Got John Lund Sr. here. We got Dakota Deck. We got Brandon Arita, and we chose the shop as a nice little backdrop showing John's 2014 Shelby GT500 making 1,290 railroad horsepower. What's the most power the white car made? The white 2020, 9 something?
902.
902 on the 85.
E85 26.
You got to talk right into that. You got to grab that.
E85 265 upper. High flow exhaust.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
just free flowing and a few other things.
There you go. Bring it up to. There you go. Hey, it's your mic now. Fuck these guys. So So basically, that exact same tune. Someone said turn your volume down on the laptop. No, it's this. Guys. You're gonna have to just deal with this because there's 3 mics going. So if there's slight echo, fuck you. You're gonna have to deal with it. Plain and simple. So real quick, what happened over the weekend was Evo went over to Darlington.
Yeah. Darlington.
Darlington,
Yes.
is that North or South Carolina? I don't know shit. North Carolina. And they ran a best of a 959 at 152. Same run had the 959 and 152.
Almost 153.
Almost 153.
Yeah.
And that beat the record by
Couple
like
times.
almost 2/10, right? Or a tenth and
7 mile an hour.
and how many mile an hour? 6 mile an hour? 7 mile an hour. Okay, and did you guys see that people were accusing us or lying about if the car was being sprayed or not? Senior, you run the show here. Was that car being sprayed?
Negative. The car was not being sprayed.
Why do people? The reason people think it's sprayed is because it's up 7 mile an hour. It's up 10 mile an hour from the previous. No, 144 to 152. So that's 8, and it's just mile an hour stupid. And the 60-foot isn't like astronomical. Why is it up so much than the previous time that it was out?
Because it's up about 120 to 125 horsepower from last time.
Okay.
Not because of spray, because of some good tuning, some excellent tuning. But most of it is because we've gotten more efficient intercooler core. I'm not sure exactly what I can say we have got in the car.
Right.
I know Evolution upped the size of the headers and went to a production 2-inch primary,
Oh, I didn't know that.
3.5-inch collector.
I didn't know about the new headers on the car. I thought they were using the 350.
The car picked up a fair amount of power from that, but the boost dropped. So to try to get more boost in, a 2.5 upper pulley was put on.
Okay.
I think other GT500s were already running a 2.5 upper when they went their 970. Evolution's 980 pass was on a 2.65 upper, so they added some boost to it. They put a bigger throttle on,
Okay.
which added some boost.
Is it the VMP throttle or some other throttle?
I
like a
believe-
Kong. Wasn't Kong? I'm not sure which throttle's on it, honestly.
I'm 100% not sure, but I
100%
think it
not
may
sure.
be 100% not sure,
It's not
which means
wrong.
I just don't know shit
Okay.
about talking shit.
So basically, the car's up. Boost numbers are up. Bigger
Yes.
headers, better intercooler.
Yes.
And conditions. Let's talk about the conditions when it ran 9.8 versus 9.5.
9.8, it was up around.
It was 80 degrees in Bradenton.
It was above 1500 DA.
And what was the DA in Darlington? Do you know?
It was like 60 degrees, and it was down either right around 100 to 200, or maybe even sub-zero.
So a lot denser air
Right.
than what it ran. So basically the explanation, everyone's saying, well, no, it had to have been spraying because it's up that much mile an hour. I'm like, no, it's got more boost. It ran in better conditions, better intercooler, bigger headers. And we figured out some stuff with the tuning that actually helped out when it comes to, without giving too much away, there's some calibration secrets that went into that, but no spray. No spray.
No spray.
Good. And Fred
None.
Cook was out there actually saying, "Hey guys, you can come witness it in person if you want. There is no spray on this car. No one's
Yeah.
gonna take him up on that at all." So CJ Ledette says, "Shout out to Lakota. Do you know CJ?
I do know CJ.
Do you know CJ? Careful, don't take that away." Oh gosh, people are okay. I'm gonna say certain things, but not everything's gonna be said because a lot of you guys are. I mean, you talk shit, but you take it to another level. Real quick. So the Evo car running a great number, and we don't still have TCM access for the car. Like there is no access to the trans stuff at all. So we're kind of like hindered a little bit when it comes to that.
Right.
What do you think we're going to gain out of it besides 60 foot and smoke and clutches? Because it makes like 1,030 or something like that, or
Yeah,
1,020.
not much. And if the car had ran on its very first pass, which was its best 60 foot, I believe a 156, I think you'd have saw quicker than a 959. But they had maybe not put some fuel in the tank.
Oh, I heard about that. It was low on
and
fuel.
it sloshed, and the driver decided that the hiccup he felt was not good, so he lifted.
Okay.
Smart. And
That was Dalton driving.
Dalton, yes, Dalton. And even with him in there, and I think he's about 150 pounds.
Yeah, what's the
wet.
car weigh?
I'm pretty sure Fred put out numbers on that. It was close to 4,100, if not almost 4,100.
Wow. I don't know if Junior said it was 43, but I can't imagine it's 43. That's heavy, dude.
Yeah.
That's Hellcat heavy.
Yeah,
That's stupid. That's real stupid. So what else happened on the weekend? Anthony Ballard's car went into the 7 with an on-3 single 6R80 first gear leave. Tell us a little bit about, how long he's been after that. Did he change turbos? You know the particulars about that setup or no?
It's a 94 millimeter turbo.
I was like,
Okay, it's a 94 millimeter turbo 6R80 built by him.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
he built the 6R80. Junior will have more particulars. Junior's on his way in. He had to, put the baby to sleep real quick. But he went 7s on a lot of people that were, ragging on 4R200. Oh, it's not really a 6R80. Well, look, we had a remote tune customer, never been on the dyno with us, ran a 789,
we just ran 790 and then a 780.
790, then 780. So he backed it up, and it went.
88, I believe.
And then it went 175 mile an hour. So
Yeah,
pretty
couple
damn good
times.
mile an hour. And then he was done. He was like, okay, that's enough of that. He'll be back out to, I don't know, maybe more boost later. Because how much boost was he actually running on that car?
28 ounce, and that car is a 60-foot King. I believe it holds the 6R80 60-foot record of like a 115, 116. But he was only able to grab a 128, 127 60-foot.
Okay. So 128 60 foot still went into the 7s and was pretty comfortable doing so. So it wasn't too bad. There's Junior. Junior showed up, decided to show up a little late, but he's here. Juan is asking your thoughts on the 1320 whale dick cold air intake for the 2020 GT5.
Who's asking?
Some guy named Juan. Some Juan. He's
Everyone
like,
hear me?
yeah, just talking to the mic. Just do a check.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's really noisy.
So did you see the whale dick?
Yeah.
Thoughts
Yeah.
on the whale dick? I mean, it's big. And the nice thing about speed density,
I was looking up Home Depot part numbers. Is that bad?
it's not bad, but
It looks like
it looks exactly like the elbow.
I was at Home Depot,
Okay.
and the elbow looked like something I saw somewhere, so I had to confirm.
It's okay. Isn't Home Depot where all very beginner
Here we
cold
go.
air kit
Yeah.
companies start?
Yeah.
Really talking shit.
Yeah, I mean it'll probably work well, but I wouldn't put it on my $90,000 GT500.
Carlos Aries says, "What is the turnaround time on an 85 flex fuel tune you ordered 2 weeks ago and have not heard back? Just checking it didn't get lost somewhere."
Check your spam.
Yeah. Check your spam folder because
because we're caught up.
everything has been running about 1 or 2 day turnaround, like really quick, really
Where-
efficient,
Literally go check your serial number and your email right now.
and it's probably there.
Whatever your name was.
His name is Carlos Arias.
And I bet it's sitting
Post
in the queue.
post your serial number in here, and we'll go look it up.
Yeah, post your serial number, Carlos, your Engage serial number right here on the chat if we can see it. It's probably smart of you to pay to do it so I can actually see it. and then we can look up exactly what the deal is. So anyway, there's a new cold air. People are starting to put out cold air for the 2020 GT500. Does it matter? It doesn't matter. Like, in other words, does a cold air matter, or is it better to just have the throttle body wide open inside the engine bay and have the IAT sensor just dangling there?
We need to test with like a velocity stack or something, but
Just right in the front of the throttle body?
yeah, just to see. But I think for IAT purposes, you probably want like some kind of
kind of
air
filter or
shroud
something there,
solution.
sucking
Like,
it
OEM isn't bad. It's just, take the lid off and you pick up tons of power.
But the cars
so
do benefit from a bigger, physically bigger
they
cold
do.
air. Okay.
I think something that creates velocity is needed. So, the OEM intake is probably not conducive to that with all the,
Now,
the ribbing and
it doesn't matter because of shielding, because there's no MAF sensor. So as long as it's just a big old open pipe, it'll just suck in air, and it'll be happy, and it won't drive badly or anything. It won't be affected at all.
Right.
So this will probably, like I said before, it'd probably be a resurgence for cold air manufacturers because they don't have to worry about a MAF signal anymore.
Yeah,
There's
no tuning really that's going to happen.
So, okay.
Take
the tuner out of the equation.
I think the JLT on the Evolutions picked up half a pound of boost, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that added
It's ghost here.
broke over there. 20-something horse.
Okay.
The long tube from 1 7/8 to 2 inch didn't really pick up much. And I was watching it on the way here. It is 4,300 pounds.
Okay, and real
They
quick.
scaled it with Dalton.
Oh, it's 4,300? Okay, good.
With him.
So we wanted to ask you, why are you lying about the Evo using nitrous? Like, why are you such a
crap,
fucking liar?
You guys got me.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
How much of a shot? Progressive? Like a next?
400.
It's a Zex kit, right?
Yeah,
It's a
we
Zex
actually
kit.
we went back to stock boost and put a 400 shot on it.
So stock boost record.
That was the only way to trick the PCM and the TCM.
That's actually not bad when we were talking about
I
some of
probably
that
just
stuff.
gave out a good clue for somebody
shit,
to try.
It's over. See,
No.
that's a problem. So
We added boost via the intake and went down a pulley size, and air is the big thing.
Okay.
And the intercooler core from VMP to test.
Give it to him. Did it have a throttle on it? Senior
Yeah,
said?
it had the 105 on it.
Which one? From who?
VMP.
VMP 105. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it picked up 10 horsepower with the intake on it. So it needs the throttle doesn't really start picking up much until you start
Shoving more air
getting
in it?
more boost.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, okay.
And everyone wanting to know what boost it's seeing little over 20 pounds of
A little
boost.
over 20 pounds of boost.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
And there's nothing. I was the same timing we had before. I think the big
38?
difference is running
38?
in 38
combustion limit
degrees.
table
Yep.
at 38 from the hit.
0.87 lambda. It's NA with a little boost. And a 400 shot.
Like a Cobra jet.
Yeah, exactly. 30 degrees. Fuck it.
I think the thing that people don't realize is the car ran 9s when it was like 2,500 DA and really humid air. And then competitors have ran in minus 500 air, but they don't want to admit it because they know that it's helping a lot.
Right. So I know the Fairmont. It went 870 in 40-degree weather.
Yeah.
I know it won't do that at Palm Beach. I know that. I know it's not. I'm not going to say, well, that's the metric. you
Now,
know?
Right now with this cam zone.
Yeah, with the cams working, it might. But I'm saying if it runs an 8.7 in Florida in not so great condition, I'm happy.
but an efficient air to water, say the Blue Goose,
Right.
in the summer it went 7.6 at 183. Granted, we had a lot of boost in it, but we had the IATs below 100 degrees
The whole
when
time.
it was 90 degrees out.
So, but does the air density change if the ambient is 100 versus?
It's more about the water grain. So if it's really thick, humid air, regardless of the engine, it's going to have to suck that in, and that air does not compress well.
Okay.
So you don't make as much power. So I think that's the big difference. But there wasn't like this massive, crazy jump in ignition timing or nitrous or anything.
Yeah.
It's just we finally got everything lined up, basically.
Okay, the launch worked out. I mean, it had a better 60-foot earlier in the day.
It did, and I think we can go more in the 60-foot with more time. But I'm remote tuning it and all that. So
The Goblin says, appreciate y'all. Alex got my 6R80 swap flying. That was Chris Houston. He has a built Gen 1. People are asking how much on a flex tune it's on its own. A flex tune on its own, how much power do you gain? I love these questions because they don't say what fuel.
It's a loaded question.
It's a very loaded
You
question.
can have 4 190 You can have horrible 91.
Get it right up in your mouth. You know how to put round things in your mouth.
So you could have like terrible fuel, and you could pick up almost like 30 horsepower. But now you say, let's say, like in this area, we have Sunoco 93 here that's almost like 100 octane, and you're picking up like 1 degree. Now it's 5, horsepower.
Right.
So it just really depends on the quality of the fuel. But most of the time, you actually see a good gain from E85 just because of how the fuel is.
But they say flex tune alone, and I tell them, guys, the flex tune alone, if you're running 93 pump, I mean, you're going to see maybe a little bit of a bump, but you're not going to see 50, 20. If it's E85, yeah, I get that. All right, let me go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make sure I stick here because viewer activity. These are the paid questions because
Carlos,
which one's Carlos?
with his engaged serial number.
Oh, good. Where is it? Carlos. Okay, that 012195. I guarantee we sent them that too. 012195. And if it's a dealer that got your order, then see what dealer you ordered it from.
It's pending right now.
It's pending, so that means we sent it. I guarantee we sent it.
Let's see.
Already you signed it. Da-da-da. Anyone sent it? No, he's asking about it. So see if the order was even placed. Who did you place the order with? That's the other thing. Like, and don't name the dealer in case we don't want to get the dealer in trouble.
Did it come through a dealer?
Okay, Osis Coyote says, recommended spark plug and gap for twin turbo setup. Shout out to Brandon for tuning the fastest NA Coyote in Cali. That's bullshit, because I tuned that fucking car. And gapped all Gen 2, Gen 3s, street races, don't lie. So Osis Coyote, twin turbo setup, anything above 15, 16 PSI, we were doing 25, gap of 25, and spark plug. Spark plug recommendations for something at 800 and up, 900 rural horsepower and up. What do you think for spark plugs? No one's paying attention.
Sorry. 800 up, spark
800
plugs?
and up spark
Coyote.
plugs, Coyote, twin turbo, gap and spark plug type.
NGK 6510.025.
Yeah, there you go.
You can run 6510s to 1,000 horse.
And
be
then
okay.
what do you recommend after that? Because that's the next question.
Briss RR12S or Denso ITV 24.
Gap it really low, like when in doubt, gap it down.
We run 16, 18 gap on the blue car.
But that's like 1,800 horsepower.
Yeah, I think you could stay in like the mid 20s
Okay.
till
There you go. You heard it from him,
high
not
power.
from me. So Richard Alvaro says, what do I need to run 85 on my 14? Just injectors? Yes, Richard Alvaro. If you have a stock manifold, actually anything. If you have whatever you got. If you want to run 85 on a Gen 1 car, you absolutely need injectors. Minimum LU47s. But if you want to buy ID 1050Xs to set you up for boost later on, buy them. We can tune them NA, no problem. 5 Point Slow says, Gen 1 Coyote cooks long tubes and free-flowing exhaust on New York City, 93 pump gas, ordering a VMP Gen 2R with a PMS 120 intake and 267. What size pulley should a Gen 1 Coyote start with on pump gas with a TVS? Whoever answers has to grab a mic.
Pump gas?
On pump gas, Gen 1 TVS, what size pulley?
What should they start with?
Yes.
I would start with like an 82.
Okay.
If the fuel's good after that, then we can step it up to like a 79.
Okay.
But it depends on injector usage also.
There you go. So there you go. Don't be saying, well, 75 or 72. No, that's not how it works. Just stick with a 82 to start, because with an 82 you can make 610 wheels, something like that. 17 degrees, whatever, 16 degrees. So there you go. So 82 millimeter pulley, no more than that. John Quinto says, how much power am I losing from E85 to 70% ethanol on the 2011 GT Paxton tune car by Junior? Made 740 on 85%. So if he has E70, he's going to run richer, right, on an 85 tune. How much power is he losing? I don't know.
Depends on how good of the quality. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. He goes from 85 to 70%. So if he tests E70, but he's running the E85 tune,
If it's the same ignition time, he's not losing any power.
okay.
He's
It's
just at
running a
more
little
risk.
richer?
It's going to be pulling fuel out,
Okay.
like probably 10%, but he's at more risk of detonation.
Okay. There you
Because
go.
you don't know what the other 30% of the fuel is.
So we were talking about that with a guy yesterday about E85, like let's say Sunoco E85R, Ignite 118, C85, all those ones that are similar to like a 9.8-ish Stoic or somewhere in that range. Have you seen a big power difference between C85 and Pump E85? I haven't, honestly. I haven't seen a huge difference. But Ignite, dude, I haven't seen more than 5 horsepower at my power level between C85 and E85. Like
20 wheel maybe is
maybe
what I've seen.
tops. But what about like Ignite 118? Because everyone wants to know what is the best ethanol that you guys think is out there.
C85, Ignite, they all pick up about the same.
Okay.
FTW
That's like-
purple
yeah.
is the only one that picks up like nitrous horsepower. Like on the gray car, we ran the FTW purple once, and it picked up
Oh, grab the mic.
it picked up like 90 horsepower with no changes.
Right.
But we've been running ethanol 1 lately,
Yeah.
and it seems to be a much cleaner fuel. We don't have near the issues with plug fouling on the C85.
Yeah.
I'd get about
'Cause it's
6
got-
runs out of plugs, and that's it.
C85 smells like it has nitro in it.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
got something in it.
Oxygenated or
Yeah,
a
they
little
say
more-
oxygenated, but it smells like it has
It's a
nitro
little
in it.
more abrasive, and the oil changes are much more common. The
Yeah.
ethanol 1 doesn't seem to dilute as much.
And
Really
we tried
clean.
Q16 for a little bit. It seems hotter,
Yeah.
but it makes really good power.
Yeah, it
And
does.
it's
It like Q16.
and we had a fuel delivery issue, I would say.
Yeah.
And it was at NA air fuel, lots and lots of cylinder pressure, and it didn't lift anything. And that's the
tires-
fastest you've been.
No, the tires.
Yeah.
lifted the
Well,
tires.
no, that I'm talking in the summer.
It still lifted the tires.
Yeah, it did, but that's the most power it's made.
D's Nuts says, finally Lund tune, all night and day difference coming from another tuning company. I'm not going to, slander anyone. Shout out to Brandon, amazing customer. That's bullshit. Amazing customer service. Got my flexing straightened out. Thank you guys. Awesome. I appreciate you, D's Nuts, for for switching over, and hopefully you stay happy, grow with us, and everything will be good. YouTube corrupt anti-free speech. That guy is always on my shit. He's like a 19 GT going with a Whipple Stage 2. I know I need a return style fuel system and injectors to run 85, but what do I need just for pump gas in terms of injector? So what I think on just pump gas is I'll treat it like my car. My 19 GT has LU47s and about 11 psi. If you're going to stay on pump gas, you don't need anything bigger than a 52 on a Gen 3. If you want to set yourself up for E85 down the road, go ahead and buy yourself a set of 1050Xs, and you don't have to buy the injectors twice. That's what I would do if I were you. Don't buy the injectors twice. Buy some 1050Xs, so then when you do buy a return style fuel system, you're good to go. Junior, where are you maxed out on a 1050X with a Gen 3 with a return system? Like at what horsepower range did you say?
On E85?
On E85, yeah. Where would you say, you might need 1300s or,
20 pounds of boost.
Okay.
I think the DI gives a little extra cushion.
Which is what, 900 ruble horsepower?
On turbos, it's like close to 1100.
Wow. Okay, and the 1050X will support, you think 800, 900 comfortably on a Gen 3?
Comfortably. yeah.
Comfortably.
Yeah.
That's not the case on Gen 2. You're kind of like 800, 900, you're like
It's like
ragged edge?
if you run like 65 psi base pressure, you could probably squeeze around the same boost.
Okay.
But usually we don't
Because
run
that's the
them that
biggest
high.
question. People always go, well, if I get ID 1050Xs, why don't I just buy 1700s? I'm like, well, you won't need them until you're making...
Yeah, 1300s will take you to 25, 26 pounds of boost.
Okay.
So, yeah. But then on the Gen 3, blending seems to be a problem with PI and DI.
Okay.
So that's why we have 1700s in the black car. And, we're not going to go spend a bunch of money on DI injectors right now.
Do you just
So,
wish Ford would just get rid of the whole DI?
No comment.
No comment?
They did.
What? I can't hear you. The mic's not in your mouth.
I think they did on the 2020.
You think? You don't know? Is it unconfirmed? Do you have any...
I don't know. I could go raise the hood.
No. What I'm saying is on the GT and all the other cars, like DI in
no,
general.
GT, it's still there.
It's still there? On
But
20,
they
no, I'm
pulled-
saying 2021. We don't know anything about 2021? Nothing?
Not yet, but I think they pulled it off the GT500 for a reason.
Because it's boosted.
Yeah, exactly.
A.S. Benal says, watching you guys from the hospital bed, go Lund. Okay, real quick. Let's go around and ask you opinions about the Godzilla motor. Opinions, Brandon, on the Godzilla motor. Tell me what your thoughts on the Godzilla motor. Go.
All you need to do is look at the cutaway that someone posted. Have you seen it yet?
It looks like the cylinders are floating in midair.
Yeah.
Or the cylinders, yes.
You're gonna have to do a lot of work to it. To withstand
No,
it.
I mean, dude, 7.3, 1200. 1200 horsepower, bro. That's what they're saying. Okay, Junior, he already has a mic. What do you think about the Godzilla motor and the potential for big power? And Mustang, will it ever end up in a Mustang?
It'll end up in a Mustang.
No, I'm saying from the factory.
No. The block looks interesting. Reminds me of an EcoBoost for some reason. Rumor is they already chucked rods at 800 horsepower. So on low boost.
Unconfirmed rumors that it's blowing up on low boost.
Yeah,
Unconfirmed. Dakota, 7.3.
I think it's a massive turd. I don't see it lasting over 800 horsepower.
Very nice. Senior probably has a more politically correct opinion about the 7.3.
There's only one Godzilla motor, and it's a 385 series, if any of you even know what that is.
Cross Ram,
460
CFM.
base, big cubes. You can go over 500 in it. Whoever made this 7.3 squeezed a couple of EcoBoosts together, welded them in the center. I don't know. All these guys get all wrapped around the axle about no replacement for displacement.
Right.
But
7.3 liters, bro. And it's narrower but heavier than a Coyote.
Right.
Figure that out. It is literally heavier than a Coyote. A complete engine, because it's iron, right? Yeah, it's iron.
Yeah.
So they say with a cam and intake, it made 600 with race gas. Flywheel, measuring your dick from behind the balls.
But revving to 6,000?
Rev to about 6,000.
Wow.
Yeah,
If I
badass
was going to
shit.
put a big motor in a Fox body, and I
It's
didn't
gonna
have
be a
any more
7.3 Godzilla.
there weren't any more Coyotes left, I would go back old school. I'd get an FE block, a 428 Cobra Jet, stick a freaking 427 cam in it, have 454 cubes,
Krager SS's.
High
Krager
riser
SS's
heads,
on them. White wall,
couple
fucking.
Hollies, and
radial
650
TAs.
to the wheel, and
Radial TAs.
drag all the fuel injections around.
You're not wrong, because I remember growing up, NA cars making 600, horsepower,
Right.
race gas, badass
Right.
shit, high revving stuff. All of a sudden, 7.3 is like some kind of fucking, oh my god, it's the best thing ever. Ugh.
Yeah.
So MP5 or AR-15 in a 9mm. I don't know what the fuck he just said. That's what it says right here.
Gun
MP5
stuff.
or AR-15 in 9mm.
I'm not. I mean, like,
Yeah.
the 9mm is what I use for plinking at the house. I mean,
You shoot at the house?
yeah, I have like a range in my house.
Okay. and 2 planes. But go ahead.
I mean, a 9mm I use for plinking. I'm not gonna use it for like.
What the fuck is plinking?
You just.
What's plinking?
It's like,
It's like shooting targets and like steel
yeah,
targets. and all
it
that
makes
stuff.
a plink.
Yeah.
Oh,
Basically, what he's saying is his BB gun.
Yeah.
BB gun at his house is a 9mm.
got it.
Yeah.
But is it an MP5 or an AR-15?
I,
don't know what the
I have an MP5.
MP5. Okay. You guys don't know shit about guns. You have an opinion about it?
He does.
Oh, sure.
Personally, I like to carry 9mm because the rounds are cheap.
And you don't want to spend a lot of money on some punk, right? Just in
Right.
case it gets sideways.
But I think this question is more: would I prefer an MP5 versus an AR-15 chambered in 9mm? Personally, I would like an MP5 because I already have an AR-15.
There's your gun. Now you guys hard now? You guys fucking hard? Huh? You guys talked about guns? All right, let's get that shit out of your system. Okay, so shit. How much boost is usually needed for a Gen 3 auto with an Edelbrock Stage 2 E85 to break 800 rear wheel horsepower?
What fuel?
E85. Yeah, E85 to break 800 wheel. It's like yeah, 12, 13 pounds, and it'll make like a Stage 2 with a 3.2 pulley probably will do it. Yeah, something like that. Because I think the Fairmont makes about 800 with a 3.2 pulley.
Well, doesn't that 3.2 pulley come with it, like in the package?
No, 4.0. 4.0.
Stage 2 comes with a 3.5
Stage 2 comes with 3.5.
and a
This-
15% lower.
Exactly. The stock Stage 2. Is it not 18% or something like that? But
Whatever, it's too much boost for pump gas.
Exactly. The Stage 1 is already like, what, 10 PSI? Stock.
Yeah, you got to
So-
run like 10 degrees of timing.
Yeah, it's just too much from the get.
And it sounds like a V10 U-Haul going down the road.
So Trooper 50 says 18 PP1 Edelbrock E-Force opinion. Go Stage 1 and add bigger throttle body and injectors, or go Stage 2 and upgrade the injectors. I want the best setup for 93. We just literally talked about this. I want the best setup for 93 to start with and grow. So he says Stage 1 and bigger throttle, or Stage 2.
Stage 1 and big. What? Stage 1 and bigger throttle. You're talking about the Edelbrock?
Yeah, but he's saying to grow. Because 93 is the problem. That's the problem.
Right.
the
So
93.
less boost, bigger throttle. You can run more timing on pump gas.
How long before someone puts a twin turbo on a 2020 GT500?
Tomorrow.
And a turbo 400?
It'll make power in one gear. Like, we could do it.
Yeah.
But why? Like,
Yeah.
it'll go, what, 10-0 at 163?
So will
Like
will
what?
there be a turbo TCT GT500 before a turbo 400 blower GT500?
I don't know.
Go ahead. Oh, here we go.
There'll be
C4.
a slow twin turbo because until someone gets TCM control, you're not going to have that thing up over what 3,300 is.
We
You'll have to
literally
put-
have no TCM
You'll have to
control
put a
this
small
car.
frame turbo on it so it spools quick. But the two-step on a GT500 is fuel cut. It doesn't use timing, so you can't build boost with a turbo when you're doing that.
Right.
So you'd have to somehow. None of that's figured out yet.
I
So
heard rumored that Hellion may experiment with small twins and do compound boost. Plug
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
two turbos into the blower, which he's done before
So,
with older GT.
mechanical fuel pump and M1
Yeah. Can't you wait for
Yeah.
that? Can't you wait for that stuff?
because it's going to be like 400-degree IATs doing that.
True,
It's
which was
history repeat itself.
which was the issue back then. Yeah.
Someone said that one dude said AR-15 is for women and teenagers. AR-10 is where it's at. Okay. Well, whatever. I don't know what the fuck he's saying. Jesus Christ. He goes, hey guys, I'm starting over with over new build supercharger. Which way to go? 6R80 or 4200 or 10R80? What? That doesn't even make sense because you cannot cross those two together. Like you can't choose a 10R80 into anything that can have a 6R80 or a 4R200. It's like two different generations. So if you're on Gen 3, you only have one choice. If you're on Gen 2 and Gen 1,
If he's Gen 3 already, turbo 400.
turbo
But 10R80 is good for,
sevens.
sevens. Just,
Sevens.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what you're talking about. Jesus went sevens. So
Yeah.
everybody can go sevens.
You're right.
Just send the
Yeah,
car to Manuel
copy
Gomez,
paste.
Midnight Performance. He'll do it all. Everyone's saying, is the mic directional? Yeah, the mic is directional, so you guys have to talk. So the green facing you. Is it green or is it red?
It's green.
Okay, good. Very good. All right. So someone said a helicopter question earlier. They said something like Huey or something else. Huey or Blackhawk. Rick Wilkinson said, Senior, Blackhawk or Huey? Green facing you. There you go.
I was raised in a Huey.
I thought you were raised in Indiana.
Yeah. Skids are for kids, but training wheels are for babies, is what we always used to say. Huey has skids. A Blackhawk is a much larger, bigger helicopter, but it has wheels.
I think there's an F-18 pilot that might disagree with you on that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to watch those F-18 guys.
Yeah, it's really hard to shoot a guy from 5 miles away.
Right.
Pussy. Anyway,
Right.
so anyway,
Yeah, most of my time is in Hueys in the military. Very little Blackhawk time.
but if you had a preference, someone said, "Hey, here's a helicopter for free. Which one you want? Blackhawk or
Oh,
Huey?"
I take the current helicopter I fly right now, which is Augusta 139.
I didn't say that.
period.
Blackhawk or Huey?
Huey, all day.
Alrighty.
I'm looking at the comments too. Someone asked,
There you go.
Junior, you were saying no big difference between C85 and Ignite 114 power-wise. Doesn't Ignite cool the combustion chamber more, help engine live longer? I don't know who has done that testing.
Like, how do you measure that?
I don't.
Is there
I th-
EGT sensors
I
in every
think it's
single
just
one?
buzzwords that get told
Cooling.
for.
Cooling.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, if C85 has nitro in it, is it going to make more cylinder pressure? Maybe, but we've done back-to-back tests and there hasn't been a difference in power
Right.
between them.
But the cooling.
Ethanol, by nature, cools the combustion, so it's.
Cooling. It cooling. It cools.
I don't.
It
Yeah.
runs cooler. I don't even need a 160 thermostat. It just runs cooler. Fuck it. E85.
I'm just gonna start telling people to run C16.
Oh, it's hotter. Oh, Jesus. Someone asked, do you guys have any quick words for someone who wants to start a small YouTube car channel? Go.
I don't do YouTube. So
No, come on. Give them advice. Because you know the awesome advice that comes from YouTube channels, especially in this
Who
fucking
asked
area.
that?
Pennsylvania, Jersey, this fuckboy area.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what are the most awesome channels in this area that are... Basically, what I'm saying
buy
is...
a pig.
Yeah, buy a pig.
Pick.
What would you do? Like mortgage your future and buy every new car? That's what you should do as a YouTuber, right? Mortgage your future, buy every new model that comes out, and then buy a 2-valve.
He wants to start from scratch.
I think he
in
wants
the
to start
YouTube car world.
In the YouTube car world, he wants to
Isn't
start
he
from
like
scratch.
5 years behind?
Well, the thing is, he wants some advice.
But he's
so
5 years behind
Apparently,
everybody else
get a
that
shitty
did it.
haircut, look stupid.
Do the dumbest shit possible, and you'll get millions of followers.
There you go.
You can go buy a racetrack.
Well, you got. I mean, honestly,
I'm a little jealous, but only
But are you really?
only because I want a drag strip. Not
No,
I don't want a
exactly.
circle
No.
track
I'm
with cracks
proud,
in
I'm
it.
proud of. I don't want to call him Cletus. I fucking hate calling him Cletus. Garrett Mitchell.
Nice guy.
Nice guy, great guy. We met him at PRI.
Yeah.
Super cool
He's
guy.
taller than me.
He's way taller than you. He actually makes you look small.
Mm-hmm.
So he ended up, buying a racetrack. Congratulations to him. I don't get burnouts. I don't understand burnouts, but there's a huge fucking. People love that shit. People love burnouts and doing dumb shit. And
The thing that I like that he does is he caters to both. So he's got that world, and it's bigger than the drag racing stuff. But he'll go hop in his go-kart vet,
and go.
and I love that car. Mm-hmm. So I love watching it go down the track.
Yeah, for sure. That I love. I love the stick shift racing stuff, but the hooning
Yeah.
stuff, not that I don't like it, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
It's not my audience, but he has a huge following, so good for
Yeah.
him, man. Dakota 08 GLI or 08 GLI says, Dakota, bottom end is done. Almost ready to finish what we started in the fall. What's he talking about? Bottom end is done? Like his ass? But with all the lash adjusters this time. Do you know who you're talking about?
It does sound familiar. I think there was a adjuster that was not in the motor, and it didn't last very long. to say the
Oh,
least.
Jesus. He said he's ready for you because his bottom end is done. Alex Cadell says, what VP racing fuel is comparable to 260 GT, which is 104 octane, 105 octane, 14 stoic?
MS-109.
MS-109. There you go, MS-109. Beautiful. What do you think the max horsepower is on a stock Gen 3 with a supercharger, free-flowing exhaust, and E85? That you're comfortable, like, all right, max horsepower.
So Bullet Chet's blue Whipple 18 when we were at Mod Nats ran an 865 at 160.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be what, around 1,050 at his weight?
Yeah, probably 1,000. Yeah.
But-
And then
That's impressive. as
Jared at Lethal did an 864 with a 3.5.
He currently has the quickest stock motor.
Yeah,
Gen
but he didn't
3.
trap as high. But he's on a pre-production
Okay.
blower,
Blower.
so
Okay.
yeah.
Very cool. Scott Richardson says, Junior, what's your opinion on those pictures I sent over today of those performance clutches? What are we talking about? Pictures? Performance clutches?
It's for the 10R80. I already saw the pictures beforehand through the
Okay.
grapevine. It's new Raybestos blue clutches,
Okay.
and it kind of looked like the material was coming off. But I hit up Ron at Suncoast Converters because he's testing those same clutches in his orange car, and he said it's not a big deal. He's ran those blue clutches in Turbo 400s making 2,000 horsepower with his converters. So we're going to test the clutches and all the drums and see what happens, because so far we've only done GPZ,
Okay.
which is the same as McLeod because Raybestos makes them for McLeod.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So GPZ is what we run in our blue Goose, but we're jamming in extra clutches. So there's kind of two ways to slice it. If you can't put in more friction and steel, you got to run a better friction. So the blue is supposed to be 2 steps higher. So we're going to test it in Ron's and see what happens. It's like a 4,100 pound Whipple 10R80.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
See how that goes.
he cut a 129 60 foot recently with his converter. He makes converters for 5,000 foot-pound diesel trucks. So I think he knows
A little
what he's
bit.
doing. Yeah.
Senior, can you grab the mic real quick? Someone wants to know, they see the Grey Goose sitting back there, sitting all pretty. Can you tell them anything about it? The Grey Goose. Give us maybe an update as to why it's even out here and what's in store for the car.
The Grey Goose has been in hiding for a while. Back in end of 17, right after Mod Nats, we came back from Mod Nat, went down to Mod Nats in 17 with the Blue Goose and the Grey Goose. The Blue Goose broke the trans. The Grey Goose survived, but by the time it got back, it had about 450 pounds of interior ripped out of it, thanks to Dasan Holloway. And the car picked up a couple of tenths. So I just further continued that process, took it down to 1320 chassis in January of 18, got it back in April of that same year. Due to some unfortunate events and losing Dasan, I put the car on hold for a little while, and we concentrated just on the blue car. So it's been sitting for a while. It's not going to be sitting much longer. It's going to come out and basically permanently put the 6R80, the 4R200 stock PCM record
Out of reach.
out of reach.
It's a good way to put it. Out of reach. Because it's gonna be tough. If that thing gets on the track, makes the shifts, gets down, it's gonna be
Right.
pretty stupid.
And that's a pretty tall order, and it's not going to happen overnight. We've been there before. It requires a ton of work, a ton of R&D, a ton of time at the track. It can't happen sitting here in the garage. Currently, the car's a 25.3 chassis car, tube front. It's completely gutted. It's very light by design. It will have a dry decked, semi-dry decked Coyote Windberg crank, very high compression, no expense spared on the heads, fluid twin turbo kit, and we're going to start with a real 6R80, and we're going to do a first gear leave, like you're supposed to, I guess.
6R80. 6.
It will have all 6 gears working.
Can we go down the track in 6 and break the record? Because that would put every fucking record out
Sure.
of reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And boom.
Yeah, if we
track.
stick a
Short shift it to
456
6
gear
right
in
at
it,
the
yeah.
end.
Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Run a 7-0 and go. We have every fucking record you could think of. Like you could think it hit every gear. It went down all 6 gears.
But I'd mentioned earlier, some of the things on the car are a little out of my league. We've got a lot of parts. There's you can't really see it, but there's boxes everywhere. It's been recently inventoried. All that's going to get packed up into the trailer and taken up to the Pittsburgh area, and we're going to drop it off with our good friend Keith Ray. And he has agreed to take the car on as his winter into spring project. Wiring, fabrication. He already has the motor. Jake will finish a transmission, ship it up, and hopefully come May, June timeframe, we're going to debut the car locally here and start running it. It'll be twin turbo. It's not really legal for any class, but I don't really care. I just want to go fast.
Fuck it. Some people are saying that they can't hear you, but I think it's their iPhone 2 on Metro PCS that they can't because they can't hear you. You're fine. I'm just saying.
Sorry.
you
Meter's been
fucks.
pegged.
Yeah, I mean it's pegged. So we look when we hear it back, like it sounds fucking great. It's just they're listening like this with their hand on the speaker. But go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt. But
No, that's okay.
Metro
I was
PCS
pretty much
iPhone
done.
1. So the car's going to go to Keith Ray. He's going to
Yes.
finish it. It's going to give you a turnkey bottom 7-second car.
More or less a turnkey bottom 7-second car. It'll still have a Ford ECU in it, a Ford transmission, AMS 2000. Same basic setup that's in our blue
Will it
car.
have GATs?
And chains.
Yes.
And monkeys
limiters.
hanging off the front end.
And
We're going to have to ballast the snot out of it.
Yeah.
So
I will probably have a Depends dispenser in the car, just for my own.
the thing with first gear leave is it'll actually help it not wheelie. If
Right.
you,
Right.
if you
Right.
have a short enough gear.
Right.
Because if you shift in the second soon enough, it doesn't have time to pick the tire up.
That's
Right.
true.
Yeah, unless you put like a 250 rear gear in it, but we're not going to do that
No,
because it's stupid.
That's stupid. That's really stupid.
Yeah, we've been down there and it doesn't. It long term, it's not. I mean, Anthony Ballard is a great example. Had two
Right.
73s,
Right.
and then we put 308s in it and went 7s twice.
Yeah, I mean, no, you need 273s.
And a lot of
First gear.
people have been asking me about the Blue Goose. What's the status? Of course, they saw it try to take flight down at World Cup. And we continued to run it because we tried to break all the parts in the car while we were there and replace them. But when it came back and I disassembled, there was a lot of internal damage to the front end.
Okay.
The good news is it did not bend the frame rails. The chrome moly K-member that was in the car, which was
Double A.
AA,
Yep.
made by Tradition Motorsports, took the brunt of the punishment. It was bent, but it has been fixed. And it is now down at 1320 chassis getting a facelift and some tube work on the front and connecting that back to the cage to strengthen the car. And I can't wait to get it back. It's going to be sleepless nights to get the motor back in, and
They'll have limiters on the front.
have limiters on the front, change up
You
a
should
few
just
things
weld
there.
the shock to one static spot.
And we will be changing the turbo kit on that car. I don't know if any of that information's been put out.
No, we'll keep it quiet.
The turbo kit that was on the car unfortunately got crushed. It was
And
a badass kit. Obviously, the car ran sevens many times with that, multiple times with that kit.
The person making the kit has told me to keep something secret from you too, so I will surprise you when it
Nice.
gets shipped up.
Very
So,
good. He's gonna fly
Nice.
down there in his Huey.
Yeah, let's just say let's
No,
just
I
say
wouldn't
it's
fly down
about
there. I'll
weight.
take Brandon's Mooney, much faster.
Mooney.
Let's just
yeah.
say it'll be a
Does it have
light.
a working compass? Because you'll be turning left on that motherfucker all day. I'm going in circles.
We'll just use our iPhones.
Sorry.
Oh shit!
Some-
Somebody said real quick. I might have missed something at the beginning, but will the new office support customers
Yeah.
in house, or will everything be remote only?
Someone else asked the same question.
Okay, I mean, it's paid, so I feel
people
obligated
see
to
all
say it.
this and they think we're going to bring in cars.
So we're probably we're not going to take on walk-in customers unless we need to R&D something. So if something needs to be R&D'd or vetted or built, a tune from scratch, namely 2020 GT500, we have a Explorer ST here that a customer gave us the keys and said bye. He didn't wait. There was no waiting room. There's no
Yeah.
viewing room. Nothing.
because a lot of that takes time and you can't do it in a 4-hour session.
like
now,
when-
if we had a full-time mechanic, it'd be a little different, but that's not like something we really want to get into.
Because we do
Right.
remote
Right.
tuning all the time. How many times has a car shown up to the dyno ready?
Never.
Like never.
But are we going to put parts on cars?
Exactly.
Right.
We've seen
I don't even want to like turn a knob. I'm like,
we
this
work
shit ain't
with
ready.
shops all the time, and all we hear is the negative side of that.
Correct.
Now, they may not show it when they collect your money and you drop the car off, but it sucks.
It sucks. It's not. So we will not service customers in person. This what you see back here is John's play shop. All right. He has his cars here. He has lifts. This is his garage. It's okay. We just happen to work here.
I
on the
think
other side.
I think what I see us being into later, way down the road, when we have mechanic or mechanics, is big build stuff, because you can do it. You can charge. They pay all year, and that's how you fund the business.
Right.
Like that's how some, I'm not going to name names, but that's how some big certain shops do it.
$200,000.
Yeah, and they go
shit.
to different races and they support those 3-4 cars.
That's when
Right.
it's worth it.
That to me would be fun and cool to do. But
Right.
our market is you guys and 700,
our
800
current-
horsepower, and
Our
that's
current state is there's over 60 dealers that we support worldwide right now, and 2 dealers are right out our back door.
yeah.
And we give them business for wrench turning and builds, and
Yeah.
then we may or may not bring that car
We
here.
remote tune with them.
We do.
We don't even drive 30 minutes.
Somebody asked, thinking about a 3.0 Whipple on my 2016, what boost pulley combo will put me at 800 to 850 on the 85? On a Gen 2. 3533. Got it. Okay, cool.
I'm gonna pass
There
this
you go.
around.
That's Matt GT. Actually, That was Matthew Stradone. Matt GT500 asks or says, "Howdy guys, I have a 2010 GT. Oh, Gulf 7, man. I have a 2010 GT500 tuned by Brandon. Whoa, 641 real horsepower. I'm kidding. Brandon's a great tuner. Relax. 641 horsepower, 613 torque with basic Trinity setup, stock manifolds and cooling system. Since have switched to a killer chiller and C16. What do you think it'll make now, Florida car? So IETs are going to be no higher than 90, and C16 you can pour in 22 or 21.
I have to compare like IETs, back and forth, but it could be 20 horsepower just from IETs alone.
Right.
So,
And then with C16 on the same setup, probably a couple, 30, 40 more horse.
roughly around there.
So probably make 740-ish by another 100 horse,
Touch,
depending on IET and good fuel and timing.
His biggest gain would be adding some boost to that combination.
Yeah, like a 2.4 and a 10%.
'cause now you
Send
have
that
the
shit.
octane to do it.
Exactly. And twin BAPs and 1050s, and that car would be pretty badass. Except for the fact that it makes a bunch of weird noises after you flash. You ever flash a 2010 GT500 in person? It sounds like it bricked, but that's the sign that it's okay.
Where it's like,
It's like ding, brum, brr, brr, and I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's the worst fucking car.
The bigger the throttle, the more noise. So
Yeah, yeah. Brr, brr. I'm like, holy shit! Did it break? No, it finished flashing. I'm like, oh fuck this car. What does y'all think about the board stroke 385 series power glide in a notch as a weekend warrior? That's all I can do thanks to Nevada emissions laws. So a board and stroked 385 series plus power glide in a notch? What the fuck are you talking about?
I think
What's a 385?
The 385 series is Ford's base big block back in the day.
Gotcha.
They made them up until the 80s. Started off as a 429.
Right.
429 Cobra Jet, 429 Super Cobra Jet, 460. They actually made a 480 truck version motor of that 385 series. And then Ford Racing started making a 460 with aluminum heads, big block box motor right out of the box, 650 horse with a big Holly on it. So assuming that's what he's talking about.
So if you had a push rod, because including the 7.3 Godzilla, if you had a push rod that you had to put in a notch, which one would you put in? Money no object. 7.3 included. Godzilla included. Which one would you put in a notch? It's got to be a push rod, though.
Well, I may backtrack a little bit. I can go anywhere I want in push rod.
Anytime.
Push rod
Anytime. Because Godzilla included. It is here.
I would go back to my roots. We were talking about this yesterday. I would probably go back to
Straight six, 289?
No, not that far back. Not that far back. Probably a 351 Windsor-based Cleaver, which is a Cleveland head on a Windsor-based motor with. Back in the day, it was Kuntz and Kraft. I don't know who does the stroker kits now, but you can get 427, 430 cubes out of a Windsor with the right head. If you keep it carbureted, 650 crank all day long. Not a problem.
Okay.
Good roller cam.
How about you? Push rod. Let's go. Let's talk. Flip that shit around. Like, push rod.
I've actually never had a push rod.
Okay. Dakota, push rod.
Is money an object?
No. 7.3 included.
429 boss.
Okay.
All
429 boss.
right,
All right. Junior?
No to push rod. No.
I knew that would happen. So guys, look. A lot of you guys see me hate on the Godzilla motor, but we have 4 other guys here that think exactly the same shit I think. Godzilla is nothing special. It is great for a truck motor, better than the 6.2. Yes. Way better than the 6.2 single overhead cam. But I don't think it's like this fucking badass, nasty, but it's just, I don't see anything special about it.
Like, there's really fast push rod motors.
Right now. Like,
well, I mean, I'm talking like, if we're talking like Pro Mod stuff.
Yeah, or X275 or RVW.
But those are like...
Oh, stupid.
Right. Engineering, and it's not a 7.3.
Right.
So,
but it's new. It's brand new. What if they get their hands on it to run, Radio versus the world?
With a 7.3 Godzilla?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Well, they have to make I don't even want to talk about it.
They would probably have to lower the 8 mile down to like the 660.
Yeah.
MK Johnson said a 427 camera. Would you fuck with a camera? But that's not push rod, is it? It's an overhead cam engine.
A 427 camera is an FE based motor with a
single overhead cam.
Single overhead cam head on it.
Right.
Commonly known as a 427 SOC, SOHC, SOC motor.
Right.
Back
SOHC.
in the day.
Right.
Yeah. Very rare, very expensive.
Okay, so somebody said here, John Senior's the man. He's explaining old school, and everyone in the room is looking at him like he's just shit in his hands and clap. I'm just happy I ordered my Engage tune and tune from that man. He's not wrong. Look, he knows way more about those engines than I do. But that's why when he says he's not overly impressed by the 7.3, I'm in the right. So fuck you. So, 427, he said Kramer. So, real quick. Dude, you aren't lying about the weird noises when flashing. I picked up a 14 GT500 today. It'll also get the Lund sauce. Thanks for the amazing tune, Matt GT500. That's the guy that owns the 2010. Very good, very good. What about the diesel 7.3? We like the diesel 7.3. He has one. Yeah. Brandon has the diesel 7.3. That thing's reliable as shit. Makes no power. No power.
Except for the tie rods.
Well, that's not powertrain.
Everything on that truck is failing except for the engine.
Yeah. It just keeps fucking going.
It's cheaper to keep her.
Nastang 87XX said top fuel cars are 500 cubic inch push rod engines. I hate when someone takes the upper echelon of motorsports and to tell them how good something from a production standpoint is. 7.3 is badass. No, I don't think so. top fuel cars are push rods. Fuck you.
That's why I brought up Pro Mod. That's the logic.
Exactly. So top fuel cars explode the engine every time down the track. Every fucking time. Yeah, it has every time.
Do they have floating bores?
Oh yeah, when you flip a top fuel engine, the bores are just floating and held on by two little cast webs.
And water everywhere, right?
And that'll love RPM. That'll love cylinder pressure. I mean, what kind of how they make inserts for the block? The insert for the right above the cylinder that has a little thing. What kind of insert do you need at the bottom of that fucking thing to fill in that whole webbing?
Bicycle chain.
Bicycle chain. I didn't know what you're talking about until I saw the article where they did they cut it in half or something?
I know some people that can find stuff at Home Depot.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Let me see. Where do you guys get your pump E85? I'm up in the Allentown area. Sheets?
Yeah.
Okay, he said, gonna go E in spring. Probably gonna get a drum and get E55 gallon at a shot. Oh, God damn it, I don't know what the fuck he's saying. 19. Oh, so he said sheets. Matt A, he said sheets.
Yeah.
SHEETS.
Yeah, sheets.
Okay.
It usually tests about 85%.
Okay.
It's usually never off.
It's far from here though, right?
For me, it's not. For here, yes.
Oh, okay. 19 GT Whipple Gen 5 blower, A10 car, 387 pulley, 3.87. Free flowing exhaust, pump 85, and it made 730 wheel horsepower. What would be needed to crack 800? Just more boost? That's about right. More boost.
On pump gas?
More boost. No, E85. E85.
Man, I'm just not hearing.
Yeah, I think I kind of glossed through the question.
Were we tuning it?
I don't know, but a lot of people say, okay, I had a guy at Lujan Motorsports. He's like, hey, my car's not making any power. I went E85. I go, it's 1.6 load. What do you want me? It's a ProCharger P1. What do you want me to do? He's like, I've seen cars make 890 with this setup. I'm like, with that pulley?
Yeah,
He's like, yeah. I'm like, no way. I said, look, and I think there's a little bit of a gray area where they go, I don't think Lund is giving me all the sauce. Like, I don't think they're giving me all the sauce. I go, okay. So luckily I said, look, call ProCharger and ask them what that pulley on that blower makes on that car. He comes back, he goes, 10 PSI. I go, yeah. And it was making like 730. I go, you need 12, 13, 14 PSI on that P1X and a lot of RPM to make anywhere near the 800 that you want. And he was like, okay, I'll get another pulley.
We made 830, I think, with a 3.6.
830 with the 3.6? Okay. This was a 4 something.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, exactly. Roadrunner engine versus Gen 250 for boost, and why?
Roadrunner.
Bullshit. Get the fuck out of here.
Forged moly piston, not tubular tether.
Yeah, you're right. All right. But that doesn't fail. That's not what fails on a Gen 2. Oh, what fails on a Gen 2? What's the biggest failing point on a Gen 2?
Piston.
Where? Where do you see this? The ringland?
Yeah. Skirt
Okay.
ringland.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, well, that happens if depends on what's going on.
Like if you clog a cat or something?
Well, Brian Luna's motor lifted both heads, all 8, and it didn't do anything to the pistons.
Yep.
Oh, you're right. 12 millimeter
you're
studs,
right.
Gen 1. Okay, so there's your answer. Roadrunner. If you can find them, you can't find a Roadrunner. anywhere.
Technically, right now, Master Race is Gen 3.
Gen 3 is Master Race.
8.2.
Yeah.
David Van Boris.
Yeah. So,
But
sorry.
Predator's on its way.
Oh.
Turbo 4. Oh my
Predator
gosh.
is King Daddy right now. Come on, 1,000 plus on 20 on PSI, and
Yeah.
it's low compression. Still
Yeah.
low compression. So with a 500 shot, a Zex kit. Remember those Zex kits? Purple piece of shit under the hood.
Bottles in the doors.
Did you see the race between a 900 wheel GT250 and another company's 2020 GT500? The 350 got gap bad. Any thoughts on this? Yeah, it was a whip. I mean, it's a Whipple GT350 and that orange car that's down in Florida. I'll put my money on that orange DCT car all day.
It's an automatic versus a manual.
Yeah, it's pretty much, because the 350, unless the 350 was pulleyed like a 3.5 on E85, it's still going to have a hard time because you got to shift that car. You have to shift that car
at the right RPM.
Right RPM, 8,200. Pow,
If that,
stupid. Yeah, but some people, I put my money on that GT500 all day based on just the layout. It's just it shifts fine. It's not going to have an issue. Aldo's not here, is he? Mexico Racing League says F-150 is better than Predator. That's Luna. That's Brian Luna.
Yeah, well, they were messaging me. He was having I was troubleshooting something, and I looked at a log on my phone.
Oh, okay.
And
there you go.
everything's fixed. So
F-150 better than Predator. F-150 is like, what? You know what?
because his went 9.2s at 154.
With 2 turbos, right? 2 turbos.
And
it weighs the same.
Yeah, but he didn't trap 154.
The same PT with less mile an hour.
Who did?
Wait, you're a turbo guy.
Yeah,
He's saying a blower's better right now.
yeah, it is better. Oh, the red F-150.
Yeah, cut a 137 60 foot.
Wow, GT500 ain't shit. I mean, it's the trans, right?
Yeah.
At that point, it's the trans. Wouldn't you think? Like, that's the advantage of F-150.
I
It
think-
weighs the same as a GT500. 42, 4,300?
I think Brian cut a better 60 foot than the GT500.
You know what's
Foot
funny?
braking turbos.
Brian sounds exactly like my stereotypical Mexican. So I was on Mexico Racing League channel. He goes, "Hey man, what's going on, man? That thing went really fast, man." And I was like, "Holy shit!" He sounds exactly like oh man. And then every other word is fuck or shit. It was like, "Hey, that fucking shit went fucking fast, right, motherfucker?" I was like, I love it. I love the guys out there.
Maybe Brian should call out the orange GT500.
Ooh, I don't know that from
With
a
this
roll,
truck.
from a roll or a dig. A dig, Brian, all day. From a roll,
I don't know.
I don't know. How would that truck do from a roll?
It trapped 154,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, why
and
don't
it's
you-
got a 10R80 in it.
Because you know
Yeah.
how I don't understand how calling out works. So if I call you out and I live in Texas, do I drive to you? That's how it works. Whoever calls who out has to drive to the person they called
Yeah.
out. Got
Yeah.
it.
So you'd
Because
have
I've
to
got
drive.
called out by a billion people. I'm like, I'm in Florida. I mean, yeah,
He's not driving to Indiana.
no, Indiana.
That's where the orange car is from.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was always down in Florida for some
No.
reason. Oh, okay. All right, made its way up. Got it. Shout out to Dakota for tuning my car. El Coyote. How do you communicate with El Coyote? It's Spanish. Mexico Racing League says, I hate y'all.
Who said that?
Mexico Racing League said, I hate y'all.
Yeah, but he can turn up the white people language. so.
Exactly. You know what? That is funny. I was at that restaurant, and he was like super Mexican. We was talking to Aldo and them, like
Yeah.
super, like Then he's like, I would like a steak medium, a steak medium with
like 3
What was
a.m.?
the drink that he had? He had like
It was a Long Island iced
Can
tea.
I have a Long Island iced tea with a medium steak, please, and the macaroni and cheese? And I was just like, what the fuck is this guy, businessman? Hey, fool. Okay, that bitch works from a roll. Some Aldo Welt said that bitch works from a roll, the truck. So that'd be good. I'd love to see a truck. I'd love to see a F-150 truck, twin turbo, big old stupid truck, roll race a GT500. Talk about the likes and views and all that bullshit.
That
If
would
it's a
be-
close race or
That
it's
would be awesome.
oh, but it's got two turbos. I do because okay. I still don't think Brandon understands when I say that how what it means, right? I said it's got two turbos. It's got two turbos. So if you had two 3.0 liter 3.0 Whipples, but boost was about measured boost at the manifold was about 20. Is that more power than a single blower at 20 psi? Interesting. Not necessarily.
You're going to have drag from a second blower.
That's fine, but I'm saying it's measuring 20 psi with two blowers versus
It's
one
gonna
blower
make
at 20
So,
psi.
so
You're going to get drug.
wait a second.
Think
So if you have a 5-liter Coyote,
5
and you
liter
put
Coyote.
two 3-liter blowers
Two
on
3
it.
liter blowers
Hold
on it.
on.
Right.
You now
Parasitic
have-
loss is
You
stupid.
now have more blower than engine.
Absolutely.
Parasitic loss. You just made a 400 horse motor have to spin
Right.
what?
let's say-
500 horse worth of blower.
Take parasitic loss out of it because the turbo has none.
What would it even start?
I'm sure there's a gear reduction drive you can put in there. Some kind of
Okay,
gear
all right,
reduction.
all right.
you
This is
know,
all
some
hypothetical.
kind of- it's all hypothetical.
Would it need turbos to start? I'm done.
Ether. But so what makes more power? Two 3-liter blowers at 20 psi or one 3-liter blower at 20 psi? Because when I say it took me 21 psi to make 800, he goes, it only took me 12. I go, right, from two turbos,
But we can use one single and it would still make the same.
a single 80.
It depends on the efficiency of the supercharger.
Exactly. So I still don't think he gets.
If you have two 3-liters and they're at 50%,
Okay.
And-
TVS's, nothing, because that's the efficient blower.
okay.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh. If you do that, I don't know. It would be like
Talking
turbos.
shit. Okay. Back.
I think you should go back to the 2020 GT500 racing Brian's truck.
That
You
is
know,
cool.
Texas 2K's around the corner. It's only a month away.
Yeah.
You
That
You're driving from Florida up
Yeah, I'm driving,
with
yeah.
hush money. It's
Yeah.
not that far of a drive. Wherever that car is, where is it?
Mike.
No.
Oh, Indiana. I think he said.
Oh, Indiana. That's a good state.
It's
That's born and raised.
it's all right. So Nickel White says, "What's the best non-turbo setup for my car?" Thank you. That's the questions I get.
Stock.
What's the best non None, None, none turbo setup for my car. Thank you.
Stock.
Yeah. Okay. So I think he has a GT350 intake. It's like a quick 8th mile car, probably like a 1090, 1080 NA car. CJ, but I mean that's like max effort with cams and all that shit, right? Ported, all that dumb shit, ported heads, money. I think your 350 setup is real good NA unless you go boost. Like you say non-turbo, you can go a Paxton, but on the shifts you might get some knock. You can go a Whipple, you can go Edelbrock TVS, but you say non-turbo, it's hard to beat Whipple right now. A Gen 5 Whipple is really hard to beat right now. I'm an Edelbrock guy. I love it. But look, we see the shit that's happening with Gen 5 Whipples. It's hard to beat that shit right now. It's really hard. So there you go. Nickel. Nastang 87 XX says, no. I was responding to someone. Obviously, I can't compare top fuel mass-produced goods. What do I look like? Tony half bolted on? Okay, that's good. El Coyote says, shout out to Dakota for tuning my car. Said that, does Lund Racing have a Ghost Cam tune available for a 2018 GT with a Cobra Jet intake setup? And the answer is no.
We've not done one.
And why not?
I haven't done one.
The Cobra Jet is highly so the cam load tune is highly dependent on the throttle body and the intake.
I think we could probably make it work
on a 18.
with it. Yeah,
Okay.
the way we're doing it.
Okay, how about on Gen 1?
On a Gen 1,
No.
I'm not messing with it.
How about a Gen 2?
A Gen 1 to me right now is a
It's a
Fox
3
body.
valve. It's a 3 valve.
A 3 valve.
It's a 3 valve.
I don't know. It's a Fox body
It's a
right
Fox
now.
body?
Sometimes I get one and I'm like,
I have 3 guys on my ticket system right now that are all running out of fuel with BAPs. Like literally running out of fuel. Trims spiking, and I'm like, I'm done with these cars. Like,
they're all 11 to 14.
They're all 11 and 14.
Yeah, the
Gen
pumps
1.
are probably
junk.
like-
And they're like, what do you mean? It only has 5,000 miles. It's 10 years old.
There's like junk in the pump.
Guys, an S197, 2011 Mustang came out in late 2010. It is 10 years old almost. That
2011. 2011.
what? I can't hear you. I don't know what you're saying.
So my 2011 that I have at my house when I tore the motor down
Mm-hmm.
it had April 2010 stamped on the motor.
Wow. See, that's what I mean. So those are 10-year-old cars. So it's a Fox body. Nice Fox body, bro. So someone says non-turbo E85 for 2 valves. Someone asked, I think, earlier a 2-valve question. I totally just glossed over because it's a fucking 2-valve. Who gives a shit? Like, who cares? What would Senior's GT500 run in the quarter? Who's driving it? Who is driving it?
The fastest Senior's ever been in it is a high 10, like a 1070.
I've been the quickest in it.
Jake hopped in it 1050s, and you hopped in it and did.
No,
after we did a.
We added boost.
We added boost, and you did a 1026 at 140.
Yeah.
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 And that was. And that was 2014.
I was no lift
stock
shifting it.
motor, stock blower. It
That
hasn't been
RXT
down to
didn't
quarter mile
like
in
me.
6 years.
I mean, right now it makes 1290 with 373s. I don't really think it'll make a good lick at that power level. Honestly,
No,
I don't think it'll make a good lick.
I would have to spend some time suspension.
It would trap good.
Skinnies, full
Yes.
slicks, that type thing. I can tell you that my wife and I have been over 200 mile an hour clocked.
Where? Mexico, literally, right? Like literally
Almost.
Mexico.
Highway 118.
Where?
south
No,
of
you
Alpine.
don't tell people location.
South
You
of
never
Alpine.
tell people.
It's like 200 mile long road, so you never find it. Yeah.
It's an outer space.
It's not.
Yeah.
Someone
Fun,
said.
It's on the
fun,
moon.
fun.
Someone said Jose Gomez must be late to the party because he said someone talk about the Evolution Performance GT500. It destroyed the record. Launch control sounded nasty. Did you make any changes to the launch control, whatever? If you do want to talk about that, because we got into it early on the show about the record and the GT500, and I think
The launch control, I think, sounds nasty because of the exhaust.
Right.
But it comes up quicker. That's something I was playing with, but it didn't help at all.
It
If
sounds,
anything, it made it worse on launching.
I
Cause
think the solenoid for the nitrous coming on and off during that
You're right.
makes it sound really good. The pump, 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 and that's the nitrous.
yeah, they're right.
being
That pass,
injected.
it was spraying on the two-step.
Right, nitrous.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whoa. Noah Cole says, looking into a Vortec V3 kit for a 2014. Any upgrade you guys think I should get with the kit? All stock. Thanks for the help. Wow. So if he has a Gen 1, aka a Vox body, and he wants to put a V3 in it, what do you recommend he get, like for supporting mods, like injector, like injector, a BAP? What injector? Like a 1050X or like 1050X if he ever wants to go 85. What's the most power you guys are comfortable pushing a stock Gen 1 to? Wheel power. No, I'm on the 85. What? I can't hear shit you're saying. I cannot hear a word he's saying.
I mean, I got a little crazy with mine and went 9s with it. But
Okay. Yeah, okay. Downhill
There
track.
we go.
The track goes like this. Woo. 990. Where's the slip? No one knows where the fuck that slip is. No one knows. Bring the slip in
I have
tomorrow
it right here on my phone.
on your phone. I think I can get like a 3-second 8-mile slip on my
The
phone.
video that Dakota has of me running the pass shows
Dakota
it on the
wasn't even
scoreboard.
looking. He was doing.
I mean, 11, 12 pounds, E85. I mean, that's kind of pushing.
Like
it.
700,
Yeah, it's
720-ish. What's the most power you've made on a stock Gen 1?
Edwin Martinez.
You're right. Unmolested motor, right?
Yeah, he trapped 152.
On a Gen 1.
Yeah, you know what? No, there was a guy that Manuel had that we did a Gen 1, and he didn't he trap? It was a Pax. Yeah, it was a Paxton car. We were running more boost because it was a supercharger, so we had to. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add on the GT500, the Evolution GT500 that you want to talk about or anything? Because I don't want to
I feel
gloss
like
over that. That's kind of a
feel
big
like
deal.
people are wanting us to like talk about something crazy that was done to it. It's just more boost than what everyone else is doing.
Right.
So that's really it. Like the orange car was a 2.5 upper, and that was it. So everyone wants to know like how are you getting more boost? Just use your brain.
Yeah.
It's a supercharger,
Yeah, more
so
boost,
it's
spinning
got
it faster.
more than stock pulleys. Just think about it. I'm not going to talk about anything else other than that. As far as the tune goes, it's got 24 degrees of timing in it. What else do you want to know?
Not 38?
Not 38, 24. That's it. Like, and it doesn't make much more from 23 to 24. We tried. So I just did it because I like even numbers.
Michael Malloy, does that name sound familiar?
Yes, it does. I actually just sent him a ticket response.
Yeah, it says Lund is getting ready to tune my 900 horsepower F-150 car from another company.
Right.
So he's making a switch, which is, we appreciate that. I'm not looking to steal anybody, but if someone wants to try our sauce, they
Right.
can have it.
So we're going to send him a link for the sauce, and we'll.
He's down by me, isn't he? Is he down by me?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's in
Florida.
West
All
Palm
right.
area. Yeah.
So if he needs a little track support, check him out.
Absolutely.
See what the deal is.
Absolutely.
There you go. Perfect.
We'll square him
Free
away.
of charge. Free of charge. I'm just going to show up. I'm just going to look at the car. I'm not going to actually do anything. Stock blower shootout. Lund 2020 GT500 versus RPM C7 Z06 tune. Want to see this go down. No one gives a fuck. I love you. No one gives a fuck. I don't care because the C6 Z06 is badass. But what is in it for us?
Nothing.
Nothing's in it for us. There's no money in it for us. There's nothing. We are actually set up to lose. We have more to lose than to gain from that.
I like the car. I like driving the car. The whole like going after like being the
You got to
quickest,
call
like,
everybody out after. You have to have the fastest.
I enjoy making the 10R80 cars go faster, and you guys know how much I love tuning 10R80 cars.
You
I
love it.
enjoy
We-
tuning those more than chasing it going quick in the 2020 Shelby.
Right.
Because every time I hop in it, I'm like,
It's fine.
it's a road race car.
Exactly.
And I miss the stock boost.
Honestly, it's more enjoyable when we picked it up and we were just fucking around Indianapolis.
Yes.
We were beating the shit out of it. I'm like, this is bad.
I like the loud noises that it makes,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Now it's super fast. We get it, but we're just gonna probably tune it down from here on out. And we're not looking to go.
Yeah,
eights
I don't think
to
we're
put a
gonna-
400. When do you put a 400 in it?
Well,
When do you put a
because
400
what
in
they
it?
want to do, like what I would want to do with it, requires swapping all 4 expensive brakes out.
Right, which
we're
are
not
fucking,
gonna do.
which are badass. They
Yeah.
feel
So
great.
why would I do that and put a slick on it? Yes, a slick because it's a stick car. And
There's no stick in it.
here we go. And go rip on it. But
Right.
who's going to do that? Who's going to take?
Some idiot. Some idiot's gonna take a badass road race car and go, let's take the brakes out. Let's put stupid dumb 15s in the back. Let's make it a V6. Let's make it a V6. Basically, why'd you buy that to do that? Why'd you buy that just
Right.
to say you did?
Well, what I told you, what I would enjoy more with that car is Predator motor, is Master Race.
Right.
Put a Turbo 400 in it. Put it all in the blue car and take it to the track
Okay.
with a Turbo 400.
Meaning the
or a
drivetrain.
6R80
Right.
or
exactly.
4R200, whatever you want to call it.
It'll be
and-
pretty badass.
And it'd go 7s.
Yeah.
I think that motor, unopened, will go 7s.
But you want to leave that chassis alone. That GT500 2020, the chassis, the brakes, leave it alone because there's no reason to ruin that to prove
Yeah.
anything.
Right.
I agree. Like
Yeah.
someone is going to buy a performance package GT500 and ruin it and make it
Yeah.
a drag car.
If someone wants
Like,
to get a
what'd you
base
do?
model and swap all the brakes out and do a
at
Turbo
it.
400 with the stock engine and twin turbos, I'll tune it for free. You heard it here.
You heard that.
I mean,
I'll do
I
it
could
as
connect
long as you
my
wanna go
truck and
7s.
trailer and put a car in it and lose it somewhere and then go buy another one and have a bunch of extra money and build one out.
Wow. Okay. So
Anyway.
Jesus. Okay. So 10 stars at Alex. You're currently tuning my VMP 3R T500. I appreciate your patience. Thank you. Okay.
Oh man. Oh,
See, I talk shit. That's
That didn't really come out the way I wanted it. Speaking
okay.
of
You might make it worse.
the white GT500, though, the reason why we're not really doing a lot to it is the original purchase of that car was a partnered deal, and
There was a
we
co-owner.
elected to go ahead and get it ourselves. But that individual is going to pick the car up probably March, April timeframe. It's going to go to Vegas with the silver Shelby
Right.
to the Shelby Bash.
When's that? Like next month? Or, no. A couple months.
Third
from now.
week in March,
Wait a minute. When's Texas 2K, dude?
the week before. It's a busy month.
Oh, dude, you're gonna be beat. You're gonna be. Are you
Never
gonna go?
been to Vegas though, so it should be a good time.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Vegas.
Like,
Vegas
Yeah.
sucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the Vegas part
Mama Lund
sucks.
and I are going out. It should be.
You'll like that part, but Vegas
Like
is
they call old Vegas the old strip. It's full of bums and just naked people asking for money. That's
Yeah.
all it is. They're like, give me money, or they're naked. So when you go to take a picture, they hide behind like a sign and say, "Fuck you, pay me." Like literally say, "Fuck you, pay me." So if you want to take a picture of someone under that LED thing, they want money. If it's a bum saying, lazy, just want beer, and the moment you point the camera to him, it flips the sign and says, "Fuck you, pay me." I was like, wow, this is Vegas. Fuck that. Now the quote unquote new strip with the fountains on it, great food, great people watching, badass. Still not for me. I don't give a fuck about Vegas. 2018 just ordered a Stage 2 NA cams, installing a CJ Twin 69 and CDUT cold air intake. How much gain can be expected? Let's say pump gas because they didn't say anything about fuel. A cam Gen 3 with a CJ and a Twin 69 and a CDUT cold air with cam. What's it gonna make on pump gas?
the cams gain 30. I don't think I've done stage 2. Stage 3 gained 35, 40 on Steeda's car.
On Steeda's car, but how about a pump gas CJ car?
Well, the gain should be similar, but if it's stage 2, it's probably not going to be 35, 40, maybe 20 something.
Okay, so about 20. There you go. Last
You
place.
should run
338.
E85.
Yeah, get E85 in it because you didn't say anything about the kind of fuel. Nastang said, "Old Vegas is fucking dirty, scary fucking place." Who's the best driver from Lund? Alex Flores. Thoughts on the Predator swap?
Who's the fastest driver? Quickest driver? Lund.
Rider. You rode that car. You didn't drive that car. You rode that car. You don't drive a horse. You ride that motherfucker.
Hey, come on, you crewed me to 118, 60 foot three times.
Look at all this
three
talent.
times. 3 times.
Pull the chute. Wow.
He just volunteered. He's going to be the 6-second
Yeah,
driver.
I'll be the assistant
Yeah,
driver.
yeah,
I'm gonna
I've
go.
been there.
That was okay. Thanks, Junior.
I'll
Thanks,
put
Junior.
the pins. I'll help you get to the pins.
I'm like, thanks, Keith, and thanks, Junior, for the thanks, Keith, and thanks, Junior, and we're good. Can Brian be blocked? Who's Brian? Someone said, "Can Brian be blocked?" Jesus. Who's the best driver from Lund? I follow Coyote Vlogs because it's educational. Though my rental Stang 3.7 is a Cyclone. Sorry, he's talking about V6 shit. No one paid. Okay, good. So, okay, poured. Sorry, I'm going through all the. There's a lot of questions that just skip everywhere. So, this 7:30. What happened? Someone say something?
No, Trump denied Pelosi a handshake.
Trump denied Pelosi on the State of the
Yeah, I didn't
Union.
mean to be
No.
political.
This is we talk about everything here. So Trump went in there and
Right,
he just
Either before the State of the Union or after.
is there
but-
like a video of it?
Yeah.
Oh, let me see it. That's funny as fuck. He just like snuffed her.
She goes,
He handed her a book.
and he turned around.
He was like, "Yeah, you good."
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Here's the
Thank you.
book, bitch. Fuck out of here. Alex, which car do you like more, Hush Money or your old black car at its max? My black car, by far.
Fox body?
No, my black guy. Yeah, but because I have a Fox. But the black car, look, the Hush Money's cool. It's cool. Fuck driving that car. Fuck, it's a spool. It's loud. No amenities. Yeah, no, it's cool to drive it from here to get ice cream or go to the track. But if you want to go to like anywhere with it, it's not fun.
I street raced with you in your black car.
Let's talk about that because
Oh, boy.
everyone said I lost that race. Tell it, because I don't want to lead you on. I don't want to be leading the witness. Tell me what happened that day when you were in my car and a race happened.
Well,
Let's-
we were
Name names too.
out at the track there in Palm Beach, and we were heading back, and I can't remember the color, little notch Fox body.
Hatch.
Hatch. Yeah.
Coyote
Maybe
swap.
white. Coyote Swap.
Silver.
Pro Charge. Silver.
Yep.
Yeah, silver. I think Andy Sprans was in there. Andy's one of
Great
my best
customer,
friends.
awesome guy.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Known him a long time. Tuned all his cars.
Love him.
And he's got a Fox body that's coming out soon.
Oh yeah.
That's it's
Whipple.
I've seen some pictures on that. No, it's a TVS.
Oh, a Gen 3 from
Yeah, it's-
VMP.
Yeah, very similar motor that you have in Hush Money. Basically,
Gen 2 control pack.
Gen 2 control pack from Power by the Hour.
But let's not get off subject. What happened that day at the track?
So that day, I think you guys lined up and you were rowing some gears, and he was paddle shifting or doing whatever. And
Yeah.
I think he may have spun. I don't know because it was hard to see because
We're in front.
we're in the front. Yeah, and it was dark, and it was an unfamiliar territory for me, and
Yeah. So yeah.
fun times.
Good time. Then we went to
times.
Ada Flanagan's.
Yeah,
We went to Flanagan's. And
yeah.
we ate. Exactly. I love that shit. The senior want to sell this 2003 Cobra. That's the car that should have been in the backdrop too, but we couldn't get it over here.
Is that LX 347 CID that said that?
Yep. The senior want to sell this 2003 Cobra.
Oh,
Look.
before you answer that, he was asking earlier. I think I remember asking about his car. It's at Evolution.
Okay.
17 Whipple being tuned. It tuned fine today.
Oh, it's also.
I don't know what power it made because Fred didn't tell me, but
Okay.
it was tuning fine. So they told me it was running good. Go
Someone
ahead and
wants-
answer.
Someone wants a dating story. I'm not going to talk about a dating story with these guys here because he has a great story.
Oh boy.
Odin blower. Anyone have any details on Odin blower? Updates. Someone asked about the Odin blower, the VMP top mount, front facing, front feed blower.
What do they wanna know?
Any updates? Anything new? Have you heard anything?
I've not tuned any more of them,
Okay. So
but it made 1,000 plus.
okay.
It went fast.
There you go.
It's not bad. I think it versus the Eldebrock, it has better cooling capacity than the
Than the
Eldebrock
Eldebrock,
does.
yeah.
That's just me being honest.
Okay.
So I would say it's very similar power to the Gen 3 Whipple, or the Gen 5, sorry, the 3.0.
Power by the Hour says, Alex, when will you Godzilla swap Hush Money? So understand this, guys. Power by the Hour right now, completely dedicated 2 bays to Godzilla swap projects. Okay, so call Power by the Hour right now. Jake has 3 harnesses available right now for the Godzilla motor into a Fox body, and for the 3-valve Godzilla swap and a body harness connection. It's done. Call Power by the Hour with your Godzilla swap questions.
They're going to hate you.
Yeah, your backup lights will work. So Godzilla swap is happening. They already have the bracket kit. They have the pulleys. They even have TVS plates that bolt onto the Godzilla and the Whipple plates that bolt onto the Godzilla. Just way ahead of the curve. Call Power by the Hour right now.
Have they even seen a motor in person?
They don't have to. Just like Hennessy has a 1,500 horsepower GT500, they got swap kits. Like, shut the fuck up. What suspension parts do you recommend to help hook on a Gen 1 stick car Hoosier QTPs? Tell them your combo, because you had a 9-second TVS combo.
So against convention, I actually went with a radial, and it actually seemed to work out. It cut
What clutch?
RST.
Or SD, okay.
Yes, which I mean that clutch held for like 2 years, and it wasn't until I put 18 pounds through it and fourth blew up.
Okay. So an RST, and you had a drag radial. How about suspension wise? You had all red shit on the bottom.
Yeah.
Fucking traitor.
Did you slip it when you launched it?
No,
No,
just straight down.
the slip happened at the clutch.
Right. You can't. If you had an RXT,
You blow that
right,
fucking thing up.
right.
Axle.
Because
Gonna do
that's
soon, though.
that's what the Shelby.
You're
That's
right.
what that car had was an RXT, and we had 19-inch drag radials
Oh
on
my
it.
God.
And I was dumping the clutch.
and it
Well, it didn't last long that day.
Get it on the trailer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it smoked the clutch.
Yeah, and I was no lift shifting it, so yeah.
That's why I don't think it'll make a good lick at that power. I think it needs to be brought down like 1,000 or 900, and then like so you still got to baby it because it makes that much torque. It'll make 900 torque.
Can I talk about that real quick?
What? Yeah, talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, quick shout out to Justin Starkey. I broke a bolt off in the snout on that blower. I think it's over there.
You got it. Okay.
And I
It's
tried
already
to get it
packaged?
out, and I couldn't. I sent him a picture, and less than
Oh, here we go.
12 hours later, I had a replacement Gen 3R snout with the an upgraded bearing in it.
Yeah,
And
so- Shout out to Justin Starkey.
That was awesome.
Got
Shout out for
him.
that.
So I guess John
So I
had a
could
bolt
put a larger pulley on it and bring the boost down.
Right, he had a bolt break inside. He tried to use an impact, and busted it. None of the VMP's fault, but basically, shout out to Justin Starkey for getting the shit out real quick, and we'll get it back to you, sent back real quick. So thanks for that. Anyone know how the 11 and 12 GT500s respond to OEM 2.3 TVS from 13 to 14 cars? So Trinity swap 11 and 12 GT500s. How do they react? I think they react just as good as a 13, 14. Maybe not all as good at power, but more compression.
They have lower compression.
Oh, okay, so actually a little happier. Not happier, but they won't make the same power. Okay. I still like an 1112 TVS. I fucking love an 1112 GT500 over a 1314. Gearing, trans, not that it's lighter, and it doesn't look that much different, but in terms of price right now, what's the price right now for 1112 GT500? 3032. You put a TVS on it, 52s or 1050Xs and twin BAPs. Go out there and rip a low 10 or low 10 or mid to low 10 pretty easily.
It's a 07 to 09 with wide bands, basically.
Pretty much.
And aluminum block.
Kyle Brandon gave a brother $24. Jesus Christ, thank you, appreciate that. Said thanks for all the tuning you do for me as well as everyone that matter. Lund Racing. I think everyone else matters more than I do. Everyone else that matters. I appreciate that, Kyle. There's a couple of customers that I have that are super patient. Some are a little needy. We all have our customers that are on the needy side, but we just gotta like stick with you guys and just get your shit done. Just gotta log for us and listen to us. I have a lot of people that do this. This is the most common thing I'm sure you guys have come across. They order something, and before the tune is on the car, they change the combo. Before the tune is on the fucking car, I need a CJ setup now. Or I just finished your flex tune, and they changed the cold air.
They change their intake more than their underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's talk about intakes. Not brand specific, but is there any intake, cold air intake, that you would recommend? You don't have to name names, just a yes or a no. That is above and beyond anything than stock on Gen 3 and up. Let's talk Gen 3 and up, because that's the new shit. That's the bulk of the tuning we're doing. On Gen 3 and up, do you recommend is there an intake out there better than stock?
Better in what regard?
Power, plain and simple. Any
Power.
conditions, power. Not math signal is math signal. I mean, you're gonna have shitty
Stock
math
is the
signals.
cleanest MAF signal.
Okay. And there is a pull.
Power, we have done the best test we did was on our Orange 18, and there was no difference. And we tried 3 different intakes. Right. I'm not going to name any brand.
Exactly.
It was all the brands that everyone tries to use.
And it didn't make any substantial power.
When you
over
open
stock.
the hood, the open box stuff picks up the power. Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Exactly.
So
there's more air available.
Yeah, but going down the road, I have not. It's got to be, negated by the 180-degree IATs it has. So
there you go. So a couple of things. Being patient, not changing the combo often, not falling into the trap of changing parts that probably don't matter is key to get your car tuned. And when your tune is done, go drive it. I've seen a lot of guys grab the gauge and start looking at AFR and stare at it for about 10 minutes, and they go, well, something's fucked up, and it's like 0.99. 1.01.
They make the issue before they feel it,
right.
And then they think they feel it. And here we go. We resend the same tune, and you guys say it's fixed.
Yeah, I've done that. You know how many times I've done? Here you go. To try this one.
Yeah,
wow,
when there was no problem, you think there is. We just resend it, and it's fixed.
It's a cam reset.
Yeah.
They go.
I've had one guy told that before, and he didn't reply back to the email. So.
Okay. Dude, you're fucking with me. He goes, that's it. I'm sold on the Trinity TVS. It's really hard to be at that power level, 800 and under, for a GT500 to upgrade the blower. For that price. Yeah. What's a Trinity blower go for now, used? 13, 14.
I mean, I've seen
1,200, 1,300 bucks?
Yeah, around that.
So those can make 800. 2.4, 10%, 2.415 XBA if you want to do an XBA, or just a bigger inlet in a twin
just
65.
Upgrade your heat exchanger and all that, and you're good.
Yeah, so it's really tough to beat that because of the price, and it's just a badass little 2.3 TVS if you want to stay within the power limits of the stock bottom end. Yeah, you remember me well. I switch intakes after paying for the tune, laughing my ass off. Sorry for the pain, Kyle Brandon. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, oh, here you go, done. Final tune attached. He goes, oh, I'm switching intakes, and I'm like, fuck. So I said, are you on pump gas? No, I'm on E85. I'm like, run that bitch out and go back on pump gas and let's start from scratch because they all vary. They all vary. So you have to you can't just say here's a flex. I did that once. I said, fuck it. Let me see if I can get away with it. Here's a flex in 85 tune. Fucking way off. Way. I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah. I'm like, start from scratch. My bad. Gotcha. And he was fixed. I thought I'd get away with it. Nah, you can't shortcut these tunes like that. Plain and simple.
Edwin Martinez asked, will support be available at Texas 2K?
Uh-oh.
Might creep up on the boost. So here's the plan for that. It's Alex is trailering his car out from Florida. He's technically on vacation, so don't bother him. Me, Senior, and Dakota are going out. I'm driving, so don't bother me. So it's Senior and Dakota. I will look at stuff, so just
And look, if
on our
I'm
car
not
is
doing shit and someone needs someone
Yeah,
to pinch,
I mean,
yeah, I'm not
yeah.
stupid.
And
But I'd rather
Edwin,
not.
we understand because you don't race that often, but we're going to be congregated near the Mexico Racing League pit, and that's just kind of where we're going to be.
He's always taking pictures of his food.
Who?
Edwin.
Yeah.
He's always look at my food. Look at my beard.
Edwin's got a
He's
fluid
classy.
turbo kit though. He's got one of the first kits.
He
and
does.
He's been
Yeah.
very successful with it. So
It was
Yeah,
an
we
8-second car.
definitely got-
Solid
Yeah,
8-second car.
I think he wants to try to go mid eights with it.
Okay. He wants to
Technically-
run hush money maybe a test and tune or something.
Yeah, I think it's there. It won't need
Nice.
much tuning or much tweaking.
Gotcha.
So, and I think that's how most of the cars are going to be there because Brian's racing his car. I think Aldo's racing his car, and they're all tuned. So it's just mostly like we're glorified hall monitors.
Right.
So
Someone has a funny question because I think it's pertinent. I hear you guys always talking about 93 octane. Do you guys not have 98 octane over there? We have it here in Australia. Tell them about 98 octane. Tell them about 98
That's
octane.
not octane, it's Ron.
Yeah, they think it's octane.
Right.
Well, they don't have like 100 octane at the pump. If they think they do, because I see logs, I'm like, this gas sucks.
Yeah.
Your gas fucking sucks. It sees 22 degrees on a Gen 3. This sucks. He's like,
Big
it's 98.
87? Yeah.
yeah, their fuel quality is not very good.
No,
there.
neither is any. You'd be surprised. Neither is anyone in like Dubai or
Yeah.
UAE. I'm like, why is it? You have it underneath you. You could step real hard and oil comes out and your shit sucks. What the fuck, bro? Sorry.
Boostane.
Yeah, bro. Boostane tune, bro. Fucking guys. Okay, we're creeping up on 10 o'clock, and that's where I'm gonna end it. That's an hour and a half. So if you guys have anything that usually when I announce that I'm gonna leave, that's when 5,000 other questions come in. So I'm gonna let you guys know that 10 o'clock we're gonna cut it short. Is the TCM for the GT500 unlocked yet? No. The stock TCM calibration on that GT500.
And here's the thing with that is when it does get flashable. So checksumming is working, meaning you can flash it with no issues. Everything has to be defined properly in whatever software you're using to tune it. So if said software company is defining things, they are going in and reverse engineering stuff, and the stuff that gets available right out the gate, they may not know what it does, and we may not know what it does. So it's going to be a lot of, hey, flash this, go out and drive it, and make sure it doesn't hit the rev limiter or something like that. It's going to be very painstaking. So and there's some other stuff that we know about that we can't talk about.
Right.
So I'm just going to leave it there
What
because I know
car-
you want to talk about
What
it.
car did you drive? Did you learn to drive a stick? And everyone's gonna go around the room. What car did you first learn to drive a stick in?
The very first car that I learned to drive a stick in was my 2001 Roush that I bought in Hawaii.
That motherfucker's rich, man. Motherfucker's rich. Fuck this guy, man. He's rich. Got 2 airplanes.
Oh, I'm going next.
Yeah,
What's the Focus? First car I learned to drive was a '03 Cobra, and in a parking lot. I did not do well. I'm pretty sure I cried because I failed.
Tell us how you figured out it finally clicked. Dad's sitting next to you. You're in the Focus. You're in an intersection. Cars honking. We're almost broadsided, but it finally clicked how to release.
So I'm sitting there. I was getting the hang of it, and I pulled up. I was in third gear when I stopped, and I didn't pull it out and put it in neutral or put it back in first. So I'm stopped in third gear, and I got to take off to turn left through an intersection, and I think it stalled, and then I freaked out, and he just let me freak out. And then finally, when I was done freaking out, he just reached over and put it in first, and then it clicked after that.
Dakota?
I learned in a 1995 F-150 straight six. When I turned 16 and got my license, I bought the truck, and my dad said, "Go learn."
I was 12 or 13, and it wasn't in a car. It was an Alice Chalmers tractor. And that was very difficult because it had a spring-loaded clutch pedal that would pop up. Funny, none of you probably remember the old movie with Kevin Bacon, Footloose,
Yeah.
the original movie, when they did the tractors. They were aiming at each other, and they were going to challenge the two tractors, and then one ran off in the ditch.
I'm just not that familiar with that movie. I
But
know
he
the
was
movie.
trying to figure out how to let the clutch out, and it was bouncing him in the seat. That was me on this tractor. And then later in high school, I had a friend that picked up a 69 Mach 1 that had a, a 70 Mach 1 that had a 351 Cleveland top-loader 4-speed in it. And the 4-speed was actually built by Bob Glidden from Indiana a long time ago, and I learned to drive a stick in that.
Oh, that's badass. I got it. Oldsmobile Omega, 82 Oldsmobile Omega, which is a 3.8 liter front wheel drive. My brother had it. I was 14. Reverse, you'd have to push the button down to get it into reverse, and just like a Coyote now, where you push down. It was a 4-speed. I drove a lot of cars in and out of my father's garage, in and out, just because he let me. But that wasn't actually on the street. My brother just said, "Here, just go." He was drunk, I think, and he was like, "Drive me home," and I drove, drove him home. Like I think 14 or 15 years old. Then I got my permit shortly thereafter. So it was an Oldsmobile Omega. First car you got laid in, go.
2000 GT.
Okay, so 2000 GT for Dakota, go.
I think it was
You guys don't have to answer the question.
Yeah, I'm not
Toyota
answering this question.
4Runner.
Toyota 4Runner? Okay, it was my 86 Fox body. The worst experience ever. He's not
I'm
gonna
not
answer.
answering this
And he's not
question.
gonna answer. The Lund's not going to answer. These guys are like,
Did somebody ask that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I don't care. That's great. All right, so someone said, "Hoorah, John Senior." Are you a Marine? Hoorah. There's a
Hooah.
difference.
Hooah.
Hoorah. Okay, what do F-18 pilots say? What- Hunter Walker says 350 manifold Lund 93 tune PMS cold air intake free flowing exhaust. What will it make on 85 with the 85R tune if you had to guess? Can't wait to see Hush Money at PBIR. So a Gen, I don't even know what car you got. I have no idea what car you got. A Hunter, so it looks like a Gen 2. Okay, so let's say a Gen 2 with a 350 manifold Lund 93 tune free flowing exhaust. What will it make on 85R? 430, 440 on the 85. Yeah, on Dyno Jet, 430, 440. Oh, I see other guys make 460. What's fucking wrong? Sorry, it's fucking wrong. So there you go. Backseat splash, Alex. Backseat splash.
It's like a delay in the comments.
Yeah, exactly. 2017 F-150 Coyote Edelbrock only offers Stage 1 2650 kit. Use a stock throttle body. Will the stock throttle body support a future build of 800 to 900 horsepower on an F-150 with a Edelbrock stock throttle body? I don't know. I don't think this is gonna be tough. You need
Yeah.
you need all the air to get that thing anywhere halfway decent. You know. So no, my guess is no. It's gonna be tough.
It's
Yeah.
like trying to shotgun a beer through a little stir straw.
I don't know what the fuck it's talking about. All right, I this is the last question I'll ask and answer or whatever. Is say ISCA21 says, "Hey guys, I'm currently tuned by you guys already. I'm building a turbo kit over the winter, and I had a T4 72mm 8781 laying around. Is it too big for a stock Gen 1? Looking to make 650 to 700 on 93 stick car. It's turbo. Come on, turbo guys, let's go.
It's easier to make
T4 LMNOP and ball bearing this. What the fuck? What's
Which
so
car was
hard?
What is it? Okay, I see it.
Yeah, he's like 72mm T4 8781 laying around. Is it too big for a stock Gen 1? Looking for 650 to 700 on 93 stick car.
That is a big turbo.
That's a big turbo, and it's gonna be laggy as fuck, right? Or no?
Yeah, I guess it depends on how small the hot side is. So
Okay, so it all depends on how small your hot side is. Okay.
it it's too big for that power level.
How much do you believe is left in the DCT?
How much? What?
How much do you believe is left in the DCT?
What does that question mean?
No,
Yeah, I know, but like, how much is left?
in other
Like, what's left?
What gains you think can be made if you have access to it? We don't know what's going to break. We don't know when the clutch is going to slip. We don't know when you can't shift it fast because the forks will fucking bend and break.
Yeah,
Torque
like
reduction,
all
I mean-
that has to be figured out.
Yeah,
So if
no-
you can,
no idea
if you
yet.
can shift it quicker and
Called Trebek.
And
Eric.
yeah.
Eric Field gave me $20, so I guess I'll add.
oh yeah,
guessing this.
he sent his truck to us.
Oh, very good. Oh, okay.
Whipple.
John, F-150 E85 Whipple running great. Thanks for the help. Trans have a harsh 3 downshift problems. More going to get a PB 6 or 80. Does it need adjustment or can I just roll out?
Just roll out.
Just roll out. He said just roll out. All right, let's get out of here. Let's be done because these guys have wives. I don't. I just fucking chill out. Actually, you're getting married soon, aren't you? He's engaged. Exactly. So, all right, we'll end it here. Thanks for tuning in on the from Lund Racing. I wanted to make sure that the guys got in here. I know you guys have a lot of technical questions, and I wanted to try to get these guys on camera. So, I don't know. Thanks for tuning in. I'll try to get videos of shop tour. I'm going to talk about each car. There'll be a video released next week about each car. I'm going to talk to Junior about the 2020 GT500, Senior about his GT500, and Dakota on his Boss 302 that he's making some upgrades on. So, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you later. I can't even talk. I'm done.
Bye.